Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station.
Let me say good morning and welcome to Sports Extra here on Intel Sports. A lot of things to discuss about today, but we will have one of Liberia finest and certified coach. He's a Liberian commentator and also he is a coach, but expertise in Liberian football over the years. He has served as coach in Liberia in Theophilus Chico. He will be our guest today, but we will talk about a lot of things in relation to his new job at Watanga FC, and we'll also talk about his new position on which he has been certificated by the Confederation of African Football, CAF, on his new role as CAF Lesson A coach now in Liberia. That certificate can be equivalent to UEFA Lesson A as into the other part of the world. On this note, we go for this break. When we come back, we continue the discussion. So let me say, welcome back. Like we talk about, we're going to talk about so many things in relation to his new appointment. We're also going to talk about his achievement at the level of Africa, CAF Lesson 8 achievement. And we also talk about David about the recent statement on yesterday on the May edition of Sports. We listened to the former Minister of Youth and Sports, Dizoga Wizin, talking about how the current administration should not be blamed in terms of sports development, in terms of achievement of the national team, because the former government have failed in terms of that achievement as well. We also will pass on a little bit about the 2025 National Basketball League playoff, as you may be aware, the playoff begin on today, and that will start at 4 p.m. And like we talk about the first division playoff of the 2025 National Basketball Association First Division League is set to begin on today, September 11, at the SKD Gymnasium. And we'll have what we refer to the action of First Division playoff will begin with a playoff match-up as 72nd Wildcat take on Destiny Kings at 4 p.m. In the First Division, LPRC Aura will face newly promoted Highway Kings at 5:30, which will be the first game of the playoff, and the day activities will conclude with another exciting First Division clash between Spartacus, also newly promoted club, in NPA Panton at 7 p.m. So it's going to be a half one, and it's going to be quite interesting at the SKD Gymnasium this evening. We're going to talk about what I said. The former Minister of Youth and Sports listening on yesterday. There are a lot of things surrounding his statement, and I will tell you, in speaking on the view of truth theory in terms of what is happening in our country, according to him, Liberians should have done better to set foundation for sports development. Former Youth and Sports Minister D. Zoga was in the method of that. Former Youth and Sports Minister D. Zoga was in the method that George Weah government, where he served as former Minister of Youth and Sports, did not do well to improve sports in the country. According to him, government with people from the sporting background, we should have set the foundation for the government to follow, but we did not do so. He re-emphasized. So, in talking about the past government of then President Weah should have set the foundation for sporting because of the background for where President Weah came from. President Weah came from the background of sport, and we all know who he is in terms of sports around the world, into the football. But under his regime, they relent or they fail to promote sports or to take the national team to the next level. So the Youth and Sports Minister was very clear, and he being objective in terms of what he said, that we should not blame or should not shift blame on on the present government not being able to work out things when it comes to sports. According to him again, all department in terms of the government, every government have agendas when it comes to sporting. Even they have the agenda when it comes to governance. Every year they have the agenda on how they proceed. If they will focus on road, they will focus on agriculture, they will focus on infrastructure, leave for them. But this government have not paid heed to sporting development. Looking at the budget currently for sports in our country, it shows very well that the government is not prepared to support sports, and the government is not prepared to lift sports in our country. And you listen to this Zoga Wilson talking about Liberia, then under President Weah have relent on their responsibility to develop sports and to also build our grassroots team. But now, Mustafa Raji is trying his very best to make sure that Liberia sports go to the next level. Like I said, we will have one of Liberia veteran commentator, veteran coach, and matter of fact, he's the newly certificated CAF Lesson A coach, and also the new coach, the newly appointed head coach of Watanga FC. That's the 2023-2024 season champion. And he's here with his new role. He's going to tell us about what are the new things that he brings to Watanga. What do we expect of him? Should Watanga return back to that winning race of lifting of the championship? Theophilus Jigot is currently in studio. We'll go for this break. When we come back, we dive into it. About 40-minute discussion on his happening and also his doing in Liberian football. We'll also talk about grassroots football because he's also from that background, talking about how can we improve football from the grassroots level. What new players we are expecting to see on Watanga. Will we have to see new breed of start? That Watanga way of playing tiki-taka will have to change to another style of playing. We know Theophilus Jigot over the year. We'll go for this break to be right back.
Intel Sports, Liberia's biggest and professional sports television station, is now located at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is...
So welcome back. Like I said, we are here currently at Sports Extra here on Intel Sports. And we're here with Coach Theophilus Jigot. Like I said, he's one of Liberia's best coach in terms of what he do. He's one of Liberia's best commentator. And when it comes to commentating in Liberia, if you have followed Intel Sports, out of the descriptive analysis you've been hearing on the television, probably you tune in and having to hear the voice, you haven't been seeing the person. This is the individual who always giving all of the adjectives when it comes to description on football field in terms of Intel Sports commentary. From that angle, he's my boss. When it comes to coaching, I'm not in his field because he's a veteran coach and I haven't been coached before in my entire life. So he's Theophilus Jigot. As a matter of fact, he have coached CC United, went on to Heaven 11, Live FC, NPA, and now he signed for Watanga FC in this first division league. Watanga is a big club in terms of what they do, in terms of their achievement in Liberian football. Let me say, Coach, congratulations on your new appointment and also your new certification by CAF. We want to say congratulations this morning.
Thank you, Elijah, and thanks to the Intel family. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be home.
Okay.
My home, as always.
This is not your first time here, but it's your first time on the Sports Extra.
Yeah,
Okay.
first time in my new
Okay.
studio
Okay.
on live camera, having an interview. So I'm happy. I've been here several times. We built this place, and I'm happy to always be around.
Okay. Coach Jigot, congratulations again. Let me say of your recent achievement. What did it take to earn a CAF lesson, and how does this elevate you as a person and achieving this in your career?
Oh yes. So what does it take? It takes a lot of focus, I would say. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of sacrifices, a lot of resources. And if I did my coaching career back to when it started, I think we should be talking about my days as a refugee.
Okay.
Somewhere in Ghana, 2004, 2005, thereabout. As a young guy, I was like looking at the kids playing. I kept watching. There was this youth program owned by one Reverend Azebodo.
Okay.
So I just kept going. My son actually was there, so every time he disappeared, and I went to find him, he was on the field, so I kept sitting. And one day, Reverend Azebodo walked to me and he said, "I see you have a lot of passion for football, and I think you should be around helping." But then I had played a little bit, and my thinking was, how am I going to... I wanted to play.
Okay.
So the question was...
You play a little bit of football?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
At
I
what level?
started playing football in Claretown. I was in the third division league.
Okay.
But then the war, So I went to refugee camp very early, in the 90s, somewhere around 1992.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was young. I went to refugee camp. So my brother actually played football, captain the national team of Liberia, Joe Nambe.
Okay.
Yeah, so I came from a football background. It was all in the family. Everybody wanted to play. We loved it. We followed it. I followed commentary across Liberia, Patrick Manjo, other guys when they were commenting, I would sit. So it all came from just sitting around, following football and other things that are attached to football.
Okay.
And then I just got glued, ended up in the refugee camp and got into it, began coaching. Then 2008, thereabout, I had a call from a friend, Coach Lee. He actually recommended me to one Coach Shaibu. And then that led me to the National Sports College, Winneba, where I did my basics.
Okay.
And then growing up, moving forward, had some time practiced. It was at the National Sports College I met Francis Oti Akinten, who was then technical director of the Ghana Football Association and also the former president of Ghana Football Association. But then he was a CAF instructor.
Okay.
Ben Kofi, the late Ben Kofi. I met him there. And He said, I think you are smart. I think you're passionate about football. I want to see you growing. So we began a relationship, and moving forward, I went to the GFA, Ghana School of Soccer Excellence.
Okay.
So when the CAF licenses were introduced in 2011, I then went to Pram Pram through the courtesy of Mr. Ben Kofi. It was a program meant for Ghanaians.
Okay.
But because I had interacted with them, he said, I think I need to give you the chance. So when I approached him, he said, okay, I think you will have the chance. So all we needed was the funding. And then 2011, I got my first CAF license under the auspices of the Ghana Football Association. So it all started from there. And moving forward, I'm where I am. Began nurturing young players, the likes of Abeku, who is now with Freeport,
Yeah.
Hilton Vani, Mark Pay.
Lawrence Kume.
No, Kume, I met Kume in Liberia.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm talking about the guys who I started with in Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Christopher Awukudo, I mean, some of them are now. Even Stephen Howell from Dream Big.
Okay.
Joel.
Stephen used to play.
Yeah, Joel who is now director of competitions.
Mm.
Yeah. Joel was part of our youth program.
Okay.
It was a big program. We had a vision of coming back to Liberia to bring the young players. And then, but we were still there when, people started repatriating. So Mark Pay, the other guys, everybody came home.
Mm.
And fortunately for us, everybody, some of them are not playing though, but they are still into football. And I'm proud of Joel. Every day I see him. Stephen Howell, every day I see them. I'm like, yes, they did not play football, but I think they're still into football administration. And so it all started from way back there. We are where we are today. So based on that experience, I felt like I needed to grow. I think I'm growing. I'm still emerging, and I have to improve. So I came back to Liberia. Thankfully, the LFA gave me the opportunity, and then I got my B license. Moving forward, we are where we are. But before I got my B, my A. I was in between the B and the A. I was at Tubman University.
Okay.
Yeah. When I left school, I decided, well, it is time now to go into mainstream coaching. In 2021,
Okay.
I made a decision now. I had a job at Tubman University, but I was driven by the passion. And when I spoke to my boss, Reverend Akinsi Larry, that I love football, I'm going to go into football, I want to resign my job. You must be crazy.
Yeah.
But I stuck to my decision. I knew that I'm so passionate about football. I made my move. It was tough. And I came. So 2021, NPA anchors, and then we started.
How do you feel when you first received that alight of becoming certificated by CAF after months of practice, months of studies, a lot of requirements from CAF? How do you feel being now among the elite breed of coaches in Liberia?
Yes, I feel good.
Okay.
I feel that. And
was it surprising?
No, it wasn't surprising. One of the things that I know about myself is that I'm a confident person.
Okay.
I always like to throw light on my upbringing.
Okay.
I came up from a family where my mom and dad were strong. We did not have everything. So what they instilled in us was that confidence, that belief to go for something if you wanted it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I lost my parents very young. I didn't really enjoy them. Up to before I got to the age 20, my parents weren't around. But the little upbringing, that confidence, made me to always believe that whatever I wanted to do, I could do. So 2015, got my B license. I started working with the B, worked with Maryland County, worked with NPA anchors, with Coach Shibley.
Yeah.
So it was like getting the experience from other coaches, and then moving to Live FC, moving to CC, to Heaven 11. So all of those were experiences that I felt were the learning curve for me.
Okay. So
I was then yearning for the A license. But I think the most beautiful thing about my group is that the likes of Cooper Sana, Gerard Julius, myself, and the group,
okay,
what we had in 2015, we built on it and kept fighting until between that time to the time we got our A license. If you do your calculations, it's about 9-10 years thereabout.
Okay.
So there was that gap. So we were there training using the B qualification when our colleagues were advancing, getting A license across the continent.
Okay.
Whilst the LFA were fighting for us to get our first A license.
Okay.
By then, we have had the first group of former professionals who were licensed by CAF. But then their group and us, there was a big gap. So it is something that we wanted. We were hungry for it. And thankfully, ours came late.
Okay.
The reason why I say thankfully it came late is because
it was timely.
Yes, we got a whole lot inside the modules from module 1 to module 4. There was a whole lot that we did that we're so proud of. It was good. We did it. It was tough. It was rigorous. I liked the push they gave us. We went inside it theoretically. We went inside it practically. And today when I sit down and I look back, I got a lot of research work to do. I think it was good. I did not get it that time.
Okay.
I'm getting it now. Because
so you also get that at that time?
Maybe I would have felt complacent.
Okay.
I would have felt that the current A license that is being advertised or that is being conducted by the LFA is not, up to standard. I would have just been complacent. I would have set in, but it was good. So now you can strike a balance between what our colleagues did and what we did. The time they did a lot of work, our colleagues. But then over time, 10 years later, there has been a lot of improvement. There's been a lot of research by CAF, by the convention, by FIFA. So I think they upgraded a whole lot. So I would say in our position, I think with the upgrading that FIFA and CAF did, I think we should be proud of ourselves. And let me say a big thank you to the Liberia Football Association for organizing the CAF License A that we just did. President Raji, the executive committee, our education officer, Kezeli Kana, Madam Salam Zure, the CAF elite instructor, Mr. Ibrahim Ibratu, instructor K2 Smith, a fantastic team of panel. We had other instructors from across the globe who also contributed. And trust me, it's a whole lot.
This is what I want to ask you about in terms of this achievement. What quality does it bring to Liberian football? CAF lesson A, coaches. What do you think it brings? Does it have? Do we have to change the style of coaching, or we have to see a little of a big improvement in terms of you guys' activities in Liberia?
Yes, so I think our improvement should be a big one.
Okay.
I call this a lift to a significant position or to a significant level where we can contribute immensely to Liberian football. And I was running commentary the last night. I did say I saw B Mountain play. I did see also Freeport play.
Yeah.
And I was doing a comparison. I saw all of the teams play. And I said to myself, the league is going to be very, very competitive.
Okay.
And it's simple. Every coach who is now a licensed coach, whether you license B, whether you license A, when you follow the trending events of football, when you see how your colleagues are playing against you, you got to think outside the box. You got to think, you got to go back, you got to do your research. And even before you bring your team to the pitch, you have to do a lot of work practically. And for me, what I've added personally, which is my personal thing, is I'm doing theory now.
Okay.
Even at the youth level, I have a youth program because we were challenged to also go back to communities and give our contribution to help Liberian football. So I personally have a youth program, Gifted Boys. We are now doing theory.
Okay.
So the essence is allowing the kids or giving the kids to understand some basic fundamentals. So what is philosophy? I mean, the kid is playing football. He doesn't know what a philosophy is. He doesn't know what a style of play is. He doesn't know what proactive and reactive football is. He doesn't know effective football. So all they do, they on the ball. Okay, we want to go and score. And they don't understand transitions. When you build up into attack, when you are on and off the ball, what do you need to do? So a whole lot. When the kids understand at that level and they graduate to the senior teams, they graduate to the first division, first division, the coaches won't have much. Okay. So it's easy for the senior teams to just select a player to the national team because that foundation would have been there. So my take is the league is going to be very, very tough.
Mm.
The guys who are grown up and the guys who are coming up, the league will be competitive given the level of our qualified coaches that we have now.
Going to be very competitive.
Very, very competitive.
In terms of your achievement, Coach Theo, want to know that at times people will say just about the lesson that you have. It's about the start of playing. I've seen you coaching, and I understand your start in terms of what you do. Your changes sometimes make difference. Unlike other coaches, what is that recommendation you're going to give to them?
Well, let me speak for myself.
Yeah, for
me,
yourself, in terms of sometimes, like when coaches, you guys have issues in terms of substitution. And whenever you substitute a person, I believe that the person that is coming in, the player that is coming in should make the difference, should be able to recover. Probably the first infield player have exhausted himself. Yeah. Bringing in new players, there should be a new start, at least to continue your lead.
Okay, so let me say this. And I just told you that between 2015 and 2025,
okay,
that's a lot of time. That's 10 years. There were a lot of things that we did not know.
Okay.
There were a lot of things that we did not do when we were at that level. The A license broadened our horizons as coaches. It helped us, it opened us up, and it made us to understand a lot of things. So they will tell you knee-jerk, substitutions.
Okay.
So why do you quickly want to make a substitutions? There were a lot of things we were taught that one of them is making quick substitutions, knee-jerk substitutions. Why you quickly want to make a substitution? What have you seen? Where do you see the problem? So before we came to the A, some of us did not really sit down to have a good analysis of the game before you make a substitution. So now you have a backroom staff. You need to have a backroom staff that is able to look at the game, a backroom staff that is versed.
Okay.
So since that at this point in time, there's a substitution. And why do you want to make the substitution?
That includes your assistant coach?
Yeah, my entire backroom staff.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you make a point to your backroom staff, guys, there is something going on in the middle of the park.
Okay.
You must be able to, all of you must be able to know where in the middle of the park.
Okay.
Is it in the attacking portion of the middle, or is it in the anchoring area? So you analyze. And then when you're making a substitution, that substitution has to be an informed substitution. You must have gotten made an informed decision. You must have gotten all the best information.
Okay.
And then you are making a substitution. Those were things we didn't do before. We were just like, I think the player is tired.
Yeah, let's change him.
Let's just change him. Sometimes you're the coach and you think you everything. Once you say this and that is that, you wouldn't listen to the guys around you. So we learned a lot. Now, if you want to make a substitution, you look at why you want to make that, where, what is happening.
Who's coming in?
You have analyzed, and then you make your substitution. At that time, you think the best decision has been made. And who is going in? What characteristics is he bringing? And how is he going to effectively perform his duty with the instruction you've given him?
How you going to perform his duty with the instruction you've given him? Theophilo God is still here. We're going to go for this break. When we come back, we discuss about his new appointment to Watanga FC. Watanga FC 2023-2024 champion of Liberia Football Association First Division. Let's go for this break to be right back.
Intel Sports, Liberia's biggest and professional sports television station, is now located at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station. Mary Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector, the players, fans, including technicians. It comes your way once a week, every Wednesday.
Welcome back. That is the continuation of our guest, Theophilus Chigo, the new board. Can I say the new board or the new mayor at Watanga FC? Currently, we're going to talk about his new job at Watanga Coachio. You now have a new task and you have been appointed as the head coach of Watanga FC. What attracted you to this new project?
Well, I'm a coach. I always want to coach. I said I'm passionate about football. And I want to grow.
Okay.
I really want to grow. I've always had this dream about wanting to play in the CAF Champions League. But at the same time, I've always believed that in life, you don't start from the top.
Yeah.
The only thing I know, my father said to me, as far as I know, the only thing people learn from the top is to swing.
Okay.
Any other thing, you learn it from the bottom. So yes, I've been carrying this dream, but I've always thought about starting from the bottom. So MPA, Live FC, CC, 11-11. And now I have a feel of what first division is.
Okay.
So the question is, do you want to graduate beyond this level? Yes. I wanted to achieve that with my previous club, but we didn't continue. Today, I have an opportunity with Watanga. It is a big club.
You can just lay back a bit. Yeah.
It is a big club. My take is all the first division clubs, Watanga, all the other clubs have the platform to take you there. It depends also on what you understand about the club and how you can build on what you've met there. So coming to Watanga, a team that has been coached by my good friend Kupasana, a team that is owned by people who understand the nitty-gritty of football, I think it's a challenge for me. I love challenges. I think, as I said, challenges make you to grow. So coming to Watanga is accepting a challenge to always want to give what you believe a try. Going to the CAF, winning the league. I haven't won the league before, so I am hungry to win the league. All of the other coaches, majority of the coaches in Liberia won the league. I came to mainstream football in 2021.
Okay.
So 2021 to 2025 is about 5 years now.
Yeah.
So in 5 years, I want to make a mark. So going to Watanga is an opportunity for me to do what I believe I can do. And I just want to give it a try. I'm not hoping for miracles to come.
Okay.
Miracle, nothing good in life comes easy, or nothing comes on silver platter. But it will depend on the work we do. Me and the rest of the technical staff, the
Okay.
management, putting their hands together. There is this thing about the factors of performance and results.
Okay.
So the coaching is just one aspect. You can have the best coach. If you don't have the best administrators around the coach to give him the clues of administratively how we can manage the team, it's impossible to get there. And you can have the best managers, the best administrators, they have all the facilities. If you don't have the best coach or a coach who is up to standard, who understands the technical know-how, it's still difficult for you to get there.
Okay.
So it's a blend of expertise and experiences from the people who have Watanga, myself, and the people I'm going to bring along. I think we can get somewhere. So I was informed on the basis of what Watanga is,
Okay.
and what I expect, what they've done, and what I think I want to achieve, the hunger, the zest that I bring to coaching.
What's your long and short-term plan in terms of coaching Watanga FC?
So my long-term plan is I have a 2 years contract,
Okay.
and in those 3 years, Watanga must compete in the CAF Champions League, if not twice, at least once. Watanga must win the league, maybe 1 or 2 times. There must be a team that has a solid foundation. The Watanga that I know, that I have seen, they have a lot of young players. And are there few experienced players that you want to look at? Want to look at that. But we want to build a foundation. I'm now introducing a game model. I don't know if I leave, the next coach may come and change. But in those 3 years, we have a philosophy, we have a vision, we have a style that we want to play to.
Are you going to change the already existing play of Watanga to a new tactical drill?
So I'm speaking to the management. Is there anything?
Okay.
Is there a model that is existing already? If there is one day we can build on it. What do we need to add and what do we need to subtract, so that in the long term, maybe 2-3 years, you can have a team that is performing consistently, having a consistent style of play.
Okay.
And then you can go for the player characteristics, because there will always be different characteristics for players. The defensive component, the midfield component, and the attacking component. There will always be varied, characteristics on the basis of who comes to the team. But then even if they do, in my 3 years, what I'm thinking is we need to have a set game model that we can build on.
Okay.
That if we want to keep on the ball, this is how we keep on the ball. If we off the ball, this is how we go off the ball. Individual, team, and group performances, group functions, we need to outline all of that. And then so by the time I leave, or by the time I complete my term, I want the fans of Watanga to see their team playing, and they have to be proud of the team.
Okay.
For me, that is a challenge that I see, and it is a challenge that I'm embracing. I know it will be tough. Again, as I said,
it's going to be tough.
It will be tough.
Okay.
Nothing good in life comes easy, but I'm so positive in my head. I will work with the people that are there. It will not be easy. There will be challenges. The pressure will be on me. Yeah, but we have to adapt. So in football, there is something we call specific adaptation to impose demand.
Okay.
It comes with the coaches. It comes to the players also. Once you go into a new environment, adapt. That's why you are a professional. You have to adapt. So hopefully, in the long term, we'll have a team that knows when they are on the ball and when they are off the ball, how to adapt into different positions, play in the wider spaces, play in the half spaces, play in the channel, left and right channels. Players need to know all of these.
Have you seen Watanga playing before?
I saw Watanga in the league a couple of occasions, and I saw them in the preseason tournament.
Okay.
And I think they have a lot of young players.
young players,
Yes.
and aside from just having the players, do you see some brilliance, self-brilliance, team brilliance from the players that you see?
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't want to use the preseason to 100% George Watanga
Okay.
because I know Watanga in the league. I played there in my short stint that didn't materialize with Leicester. I know the type of game we play. I know the level. I know the coach. We were in the same class since 2015. Tell you what, my first ever county media appearance in 2015, Maryland County.
Yeah.
It was against Koposana. Maryland County lost that game. 3-1. That was when we started building the team.
Okay.
Then 2016, we came and went to the final. But my first appearance was against Koposana. So I know he left a structure that I have to improve on. So the league isn't going to be easy. He built a team and I'm stepping into his shoes. Well, yeah, he did. My understanding is that he called me one morning and said, I'm going to leave Watanga, but I think I trust you. I think you can handle the team.
He made the recommendation?
Yeah, he spoke to me personally. Sorry, I have to say, but I mean, that confidence, that belief he has in me, it has also driven me, to know that I'm stepping into a shoes that has been left by my good colleague and I have to do well. So I saw a good team, New Zone. I saw Vanny B. Vanny. I saw Daniel Yeoman. Curtis is there. There are a lot of other players I can name. And I think it's just about going there, telling them who you are.
Okay.
And you want to work with them, but this is who you are, and they need to adapt, transforming the players' mentality and attitude, making them to believe more and more in themselves. This is a team that just came chair on the log, right? They just
finished fourth.
Yeah, fourth. Okay, fourth. They finished fourth. So it tells you the mentality of Watanga.
Okay.
They don't settle for less. You understand? So I'm going to a place where the people don't settle for less. So I should be aware of what is at stake.
Watanga has a lot of passionate fans. How important is the community and fans to support your success as a coach? Remember, at times when there is a failure or there's a loss of game, you hear all kinds of things. This is like world football. How are you waiting or prepared to adapt to success system?
Yeah, so when you go into, I'll just talk about adaptation. Right?
Okay.
So when you go into this, these are the things you need to expect. Remember, I talked about the factors of performance and results. And the coach is one, the administration is one, the fans. They are the people who are going to come and cheer you.
Okay.
They are the people who are going to come and tell you, we like the team, we like the players, keep doing more. But this one is not good, this one is bad. That is enough information for you. So you need to listen to them. They see the game. There are times they will say things that look like it doesn't make sense to you.
Okay.
But as a coach, sit back, retrospect, and you realize that, oh, well, they say I fielded Elijah, but Elijah didn't do well when I fielded him. So what do I need to do?
Okay.
What did Elijah do wrong that did not satisfy the fans? Can I improve on that? So there will always be this relationship. They are the owners of the team. They are the people who are going to be cheering you.
Okay.
And every time they come, it gives the players the psychological boost.
Okay.
Because I always say to players, when you stay on the pitch, you need to know that you are not just playing for yourself. At one end, you play for yourself, for the prestige. At one end, you play for the people who have the club owners, the fans. So you need to have a strong psyche. So it's like we are all into this. And I think I owe it to them, the fact that the management trusted me to come and serve. I owe it to the fans. I have to listen to them and I have to work for them.
Have to listen to them. I have to work for them. Theophilo Jigor is still here. With just few minutes to go, that's 8 minutes to 11. We're going to talk a little bit about national county sportsmen. You came from that background in terms of coaching. And the national county sportsman has always been a spotlight for local talent. Do you believe that top coaches like yourself should continue to participate?
Well, if you look at it from the context of developing, I would say yes.
Okay, coaches.
Yeah.
Cap lesson A, lesson B,
Yeah.
coaches to continue to coach the county
Yeah.
meet.
My take was I applied for the Maryland County job.
Okay.
And I wanted to introduce a model, a game model, and then transition further.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you look at the Maryland County, they've never won the county meet before.
Hmm.
And when we came on board in 2015, I remember Ouattara was there, Coach Bole were there.
Hmm.
And then we got the other coaches. Emmanuel Bafo, Amos Smith got involved. So we set up a technical staff and then we were building. The generation of footballers that we brought up, the Carla Chukashos, Allison, those guys who work with us, I think they are transitioning now. Somebody like Patrick Duez with the national team, Cassius and nothing around. They're moving forward. Can you go and build a new concept? Can you go and develop something new that they can thrive on? Even though if a new coach comes, he's going to leave. But if you take a look at the Maryland County team, the style of play that we left in 2015, in my mind, is there because Ouattara was there in 2015.
Yeah.
Coach Bole was there. All of the other coaches who came after Emmanuel Bafo, after we went to the finals, all of the other coaches that came on board, they were there 2015 when we started. So they added some spice, but they had that foundation that we're building on. So my take is, if you take an A license, you should be able to leave a mark for the county that they can try from. My take was going to Maryland County. I was going to introduce my game model and then see whether the country build any. But unfortunately, I'm happy Ouattara is taking charge. Maybe they think I'm too big for the job. And I should go elsewhere.
A lot of expectations.
But it is my county. I'm always going to be around to offer my expertise.
The national county sportsmen, like we said, with your experience, how can we better integrate the county meet players, stand-out county meet players to first division players or the national team players? Sometimes we watch the county meet, this player will be brilliant in the county meet. By the end of the day, we don't see them doing so much at the local stage in terms of first, second, or even the national team.
Yeah, because it's simple. You don't want to put too much pressure on the kid that is just coming from the county meet.
Okay.
So it should be a gradual process. The fact that that kid knows how to maneuver with the ball on one or two occasions does not necessarily mean that he is up there.
Okay.
You have to take that kid. Now look, on the scale of 0 to 100, I think I see 40% of good technique.
Okay.
I think I see 60% from your perspective as a coach. I think I see 15, 20, 25, 70% of this, and that. Because player development is focused on 4 pillars: the technical, the tactical, the physical, and the psyche aspect.
Yeah, the know-how.
Good. So you want to dwell on all of those and develop the players. So he has good technique. That's one. Is he mentally tough? Is he reading the game the way you want him to read it? So now you have scouted a player who is technically good. You need to build the other aspects. So that is a solid foundation that you need. So the player need to be standing on the pillow.
Okay.
And those 4 pillars must be well talked about. They must be well taught. So you take him now and take him to a club where you have a coach who is going to be teaching gradually, and then he can grow up and get to the bigger stage. But you don't take him from there straight to the bigger stage. When you do that, you kill his career because you're putting him in a situation that is so big, so huge.
Okay.
He has to adapt.
Man from county meet, just put in a first division.
He has to adapt.
Okay.
Yeah. Take him through the processes, the grooming processes, and then take him and then carry. Most of the time, the players themselves need to understand. Even the managers of the players need to understand that you don't just take the players straight to it. Some players do not even play second division football. They want to play first division football.
Yeah.
And it's challenging. These days, in first division football in Liberia, it's tough. They gave you a job and they say, we want you to win the league. You don't want to bring a kid who is not there yet. He's good, he's talented. You see a prospect, but hey, are you going to chunk him there? X factor players.
Okay.
X factor is exceptional players,
Okay.
then you can try that. If the kid is exceptional, as a coach, you can take the risk. But you can keep him around, you can nurture him, watch the senior team play over and over, let him be part of the session. You go back to the blackboard, teach him formation, teach him how you're going to drift in this position, that position, teach him the various components of defending, and then gradually he's going to grow. So when you put him in the senior team for 10, 15 minutes, he perform a little bit. 20 minutes he performing, now you increasing the time.
Well, we're out of time. Let's just bring in this one a bit before we get a closure. And a question for you is just to name your start in terms of who do you think is the best coach, the best player, and your fair administrator in Liberia, like the president, club president. We're beginning. Who do you think is a fair player in Liberia since you've been coaching? Who's the best player for you?
In terms of
playing the game, playing in Liberia,
there are different positions.
Your best player from every side of playing. Just name one player.
It's difficult. I've worked with a couple of players.
Okay.
And in all fairness, it's difficult because
they say that you cannot serve two masters. I understand that you have a player like just know to be excellent, aside from the hundreds of players in Liberia.
I think Yaya Ability is inspiring.
Yaya Ability, who do you think is the best coach ever since you've been coaching?
Since I've been coaching?
Who do you think is your best coach? If you're not be on the line, and you prefer to be on the line?
I think I have enough admirations for Kupo Sana.
Kupo Sana, who do you think is the best president, club president ever? You've been since you've been following football, you've been coaching as well. Who do you think is the best club president ever?
But again, you have not had. So I'm going to be talking on the surface.
On the surface, you've been observing, you've been seeing.
You need to have that in-depth relationship before.
We have so many in-depth relationships with presidents.
Yeah,
you've been
not all of
coaching
them.
from
The clubs
CC,
that I work with.
Heaven 11, of those clubs that you have coached. Who you think is the best president?
I think. I've worked with good presidents, except the people who work around them. But two outstandings, and the best of them will be the two presidents that I worked with in my last.
Just name a president.
I remember one president walked to me and said, "Change this team.
Okay,
build a team." And if a president tells you that, he's a president who believes in you.
Okay.
I think it's Mustafa Raji.
Mustafa Raji, one word to describe your philosophy of coaching. What would be that word?
Philosophy, one word, belief.
Belief. That's Theophilus Jigor. He's been here as our guest on Sports Extra Thursday edition. We've been here through our discussion on his new appointment here as chiefman, as well as his belief in Liberia football. I've been here, Elijah Pine, on Sports Extra. Bye-bye.
Intel Sports, Liberia's biggest and professional sports television station, is now located at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station.